Welcome back. We are hanging out with friend of the show, April Sins, and she joins us. And we have a lot going on today. We're talking low sodium.
Yes.
And we're also making some things to kind of help with that low sodium intake.
Yes, we are. So around the holiday season, people tend to add a lot more sodium into their diets just because of a lot of the dishes that we create.
Right.
But I thought it would be fun to make a homemade seasoning.
Okay.
And show you how easy it is to make your own seasoning blends at home. And then we're going to make a taco with it. So we're going to make a taco seasoning. And I have everything sort of measured out for you, and so you are going to get to make your very own seasoning.
I love that she even has customized little containers.
So we know which one.
So
if one's worse than the other,
we know whose it is. Probably going to be mine. It's okay.
Yeah, so that's the first thing is you do need something that's going to give you a great seal on the container.
Okay.
You can also use like a little glass jar.
Yeah.
And this is also something fun. If you make it really cute, you can give it away as gifts as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And I did notice that you put the made date on
the
this.
little date.
So
yes,
that's,
I just love this.
Super important.
I put the made date. So if you're wondering about how long this will last, it's about 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can make a
as
lot of
long as
tacos.
it's sealed.
Okay.
Because you just don't want the moisture to get to it.
Yeah, I love this. What do you need for your taco seasoning?
So the first thing we're going to be adding is some chili powder. That's going to be the one with the most.
This one.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah. So it's 1/4 of a cup of.
So the whole thing.
Of chili powder. Yes, the whole thing.
So
this is for more. This is for several taco batches. Okay. So
this is just for one taco.
It smells so good already.
The next thing we're going to add is some garlic powder and onion powder. I have it mixed together.
Ah, I was wondering why it was two different.
I love
garlic
it.
and onion.
Yes, garlic and onion. So it's a teaspoon of each. And you can use any, I actually have the dry, dehydrated onion in there. Crushed chili, crushed
my
red
favorite.
Pepper flakes, yes.
I
can
love
give that
these
out.
guys, and it's perfect.
Yes, so that's gonna add a nice spice. And also dried oregano or Italian seasoning. I often have Italian seasoning on hand, so that is what we're using. It's a teaspoon of that one. We're also going to be adding in a teaspoon of paprika, ground paprika.
Oh.
And that adds that nice color that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorite secret weapons in the kitchen is the paprika.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you want to color a dish, you add that. Next thing is going to be the ground cumin. And
I thought it was brown sugar. Okay, I'm so glad that this is cumin.
It's 2 tablespoons of ground cumin.
That would be interesting.
And that is what really adds
Oh,
the
you
taco.
can smell that, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's your true taco flavor. And then what do we have left? We have black pepper. So it's going to be about a tablespoon of black pepper, but this is customizable. So if that's too much pepper for you, you can always scale that down.
Yeah.
Another thing is going to be our salt. Now this is also customizable. So that's a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And what you can do is if you want to add less salt, you can definitely add less. And then you mix it together. And
this is going to be the fun part. Make sure it's sealed on tight.
Yeah. Make sure it's sealed and then mix it together. And then you have a taco seasoning. So every time you want to make a batch of tacos, and you could use this for shrimp like we have today, any kind of protein, and you just add 2 tablespoons of that.
Yeah, I just love that. We're going to be making the shrimp tacos coming up. So guys, stick around. Adam, you have a look at the forecast coming up.
That is right. And just like things are spicing and heating up here in the kitchen, we're going to see some...
Welcome back. Let's see what's cooking. We're hanging out with friend of the show, April Sins. The seasoning is on the shrimp.
Smells great.
It smells so good.
Oh,
she used both seasonings.
Right, so we can't tell whose is bad or whose is
That's
worse.
right. I used 1 tablespoon of Taylor's and 1 tablespoon of Adam's, so it's even.
Taylor's is worse.
Adam forgot an ingredient.
Oh, I think I got all mine.
So we have some shrimp tacos, and you can use this seasoning with any protein. And I have a tortilla for you. It's actually a low-carb tortilla.
Oh, I love that.
And then I have a little bit of coleslaw on there with you, just the plain shredded cabbage. And cabbage works really well with tacos because it holds up its crunch whenever you put the toppings on top.
I love using cabbage as instead of like the lettuce.
Yeah.
Too, I think it's just like you said, it holds up to the crunch.
Really
get a good shot of the crunchiness of that cabbage.
The crunchiness.
Look at these little shrimp.
Yeah, so we're gonna put some little shrimp on these little tacos.
Look at the little trims.
And while we're doing that, I wanted to tell y'all about some really great ideas for other ways you can season things without the salt.
Yeah.
Because you know that usually Americans tend to eat too much sodium.
Yeah.
Usually, a lot of times, you might find it very often in fast food or prepared food a lot of times too. So it's important to pay attention to what we're adding to our food. So you want to take the salt shaker off the table, and you can season the food while it's cooking.
Yeah.
That way you're not concentrating the sodium onto the food. But you can also add fresh herbs, like any kind of fresh herbs. Those
like
are going to be
cilantro, basil,
absolutely, green
all of
onions,
that.
all of those things. They add a lot of flavor without adding the sodium, so you don't need to add the salt to it. Another thing too is you can cut down stocks with water. So if you're using, first of all, you can use an unsalted stock whenever you're using that. And then you could also add a little bit of water to it. So even though it's unsalted, it does have some sodium in the stock still, but you can actually reduce that by adding it, and you won't even notice it. Like if you're making a soup or if you're making some type of a stew and you're adding that. Another thing too is if you do use a seasoning packet, like this taco seasonings, they often come in packets. That's what a lot of people use. Try not to use the whole packet at a time. Measure out like a tablespoon of it and only use that.
Okay.
You don't have to use, one whole packet does not mean you have to use that in your pot of seasoning.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and then coconut aminos, you ever heard of that?
I have heard of these.
Yeah, so coconut aminos, it's a liquid, it kind of looks like soy sauce, and it's used as a soy sauce alternative. So you know soy sauce is pretty high in
Lots of
sodium.
yeah.
Even the light soy sauce, the low sodium soy sauce, even still is high. Coconut aminos is one of those things that it doesn't taste like coconut, it's made from the sap of the coconut tree. And so it actually is a soy sauce alternative. It just gives you that little bit of a salty flavor.
A little bit of extra.
Yeah, without adding a lot of salt. So what do y'all think about the tacos?
I love this. The seasoning that we made is really good. Like it has like nice smoky flavor.
Yeah.
This is fabulous. I'm
I was
losing
trying
shrimp
not to
left
eat
and
it
right.
while you were talking because all the crunchiness. I didn't want to.
I know they can hear it. You can probably hear it in our mics right now.
But I really want to eat
It's
this.
so
really
good. I love this.
And it's easy.
It's so easy. We're going to put this on our website too, klaf.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Quick question as a follow-up to all of this. Cheeses, because I love cheese on my tacos.
Yeah.
Are there certain types of cheeses? How much should you put on there?
That's a great question because most people like to add cheese. So about an ounce of cheese, which is like a small pinch,
a little pinch.
of cheese, is typically like your serving size. And most people eat more than one taco.
Right.
So you can use that on each one. Now cheese is not necessarily a bad thing. It is part of dairy. It has calcium. It has some protein in it. So it can be a part of a healthy plate.
Well, we love having you as always. Thank you guys at home
That was
for
so
joining
good.
us. That was
want another one.
delicious. We'll see you on Monday.